Hey, Jimmy here. Welcome to the channel. Today is a lovely sunny day in Edinburgh, so I figured I'd come outside, sit in a tree, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D, get some background noise to really make this a challenge to edit. There's some wind. And today I want to talk a little bit about a subject very near and dear to my heart, which is Reenactorisms. So you may have heard the term Reenactorisms, you may not. I'm just fiddling with my mask here, don't worry about that. I should put that away before I start recording. Never mind. Now, if you're familiar with the term reenactorism, you know that it's basically something that is popular in the reenactment community that doesn't really represent the period that they're reenacting so well. And today, obviously, because I am the Welsh Viking, we are going to be concentrating on Viking reenactorisms. So these are things that are popular in the reenactment community that don't necessarily reflect the Viking period. So let's start from the top with hairdos. The Viking hairdos that we have evidence for are basically one of two: short and long. We know that Vikings had long hair from pictures like this one. We know that Vikings probably had short hair because some people need short hair to work, or they have to cut their hair, or it's incredibly hot and they're getting really uncomfortable and they hack. The reenactorism that we're going to talk about is Ragnar Hair. Now, I don't want to pick on any reenactment group, any reenactor, any shop, any program, any film, and make them feel bad. So these are all my sketches, because I can draw too, kind of. So if you are wearing this kind of hair, this isn't a dig against your hair. I think this is a really cool haircut where you have the entire sides of your head shaved and you just have like a ponytail with the top hair. I think that's a pretty cool look. I'm actually thinking of growing my hair out to that, but I'm not growing my hair out to look like that because it's a Viking hairdo. As far as we know, this doesn't have any actual basis in reality in the early medieval period. It's just a cool looking hairdo, and it makes you look pretty metal. Vikings are associated with heavy metal music sometimes. The two just kind of mashed together and became the Viking heavy metal haircut, or the Ragnar haircut if you follow Vikings on TV. So, do we have any actual proof for that? Not really, no. Is it possible that somebody did cut their hair that way? Sure, I guess, but do I think Viking when I see this? Not really. So moving down from head hair, we're going to look at facial hair. Delicious beards. So the thing about Viking beards is they took really good care of them. So they combed them, they washed them, and we know that from references from the period and from the sheer volume of combs that we have, we know that they took care of their hair. One of the things they probably didn't do is put beads in their beards. So the next thing we're looking at is beard beads, or beard tubes, or beard rings, or whatever the heck you want to call them. There's no evidence for these either. Yes, there's evidence for beads. Plenty. Tons of beads have been found, like these, and these, and these, and these, and these. That one's Roman. But one thing we haven't found is a picture of a guy with tubes on his beard. We haven't found any mentions of beard rings. We haven't found any beard rings. This has basically popped up from a very tenuous leap of faith, which is that we found beards in graves, and when the person decomposed in the grave, maybe the beard just disintegrated and the bead just toddled off down the body. That's kind of not really how graves work and how soil works, so it's not really based on any archaeology that we found, sorry. Also, beads tended to be found in volume in women's graves, because women wore a lot of beads as jewellery. Exhibit A. Men, as far as we can tell, tended to wear their wealth as either arm rings made of silver, or possibly finger rings, or as weapons. So, beard rings, I can't prove them from the Viking Age. I can't find any evidence for them in the Viking Age. Sorry, I wish I could, because, again, they can look kind of cool. They can look really daft, but they can look kind of cool. So if you're wearing a beard ring as part of your authentic Viking kit, you're probably not wearing a beard ring as part of your authentic Viking kit. Moving down, oh my god, sirens. Found me. Okay, moving down the next thing that we're going to talk about is gloves. There are finds of gloves, there are finds of fabric gloves sewn from cloth. There is, I think, potentially knarl-bound glove evidence as well, so basically crocheted, Viking crochet, it's not crochet, it's knarl binding. Basically Viking crocheted gloves, we've got evidence for that. One thing we don't really have evidence for is this kind of glove, which is variously called the combat glove, the armoured glove, the leather gauntlet, the turtle shell glove, the cockroach glove, the armadillo glove. You get the point. You see these a lot in combat reenactors, so people who like to fight. Now, I like to fight in reenactment. I wear a pair of leather gloves, just basic leather gloves with some reinforcement inside them, so they look like normal leather, but they actually have several layers of leather on the inside, so you can't tell that they're reinforced armoured gloves. These things are effectively LARP gloves. Now, if you want to protect your hands, you should be protecting your hands, but there are better ways of doing it than this. If you are hell-bent on wearing these, that is going to affect how authentic your clothing looks, because these are 100% modern. They are not based on any Viking clothing. They're not based on any kind of armour from the period. These are a reenactorism. Sorry. That brings me neatly on to our next topic, which is vambraces. So a vambrace is a protection for your forearm. They're really popular with archers. They're usually made out of leather, and they're quite good if you want to protect the delicate skin on the inside of your forearm from getting scratched when you loose arrows in archery. They're often used by competition archers. They probably have been used in... Kids. Excuse me. They probably were worn by archers in the medieval period at some point. We have no evidence for them being worn by Viking warriors. None at all, absolutely none. Now, we do have evidence for these. Very, very small amounts of evidence for these. They are not found in Great Britain. We've never found them in Britain, France. We've never found them, as far as I'm aware, in Germany. We've never found them anywhere west, I think, of Denmark. So, are these just a thing that all Vikings wore? Absolutely not. 100% not a common thing. How do we know? We'd have found a picture of them. We'd have found mentions of them. We'd have found slightly more archaeology. We'd have found some kind of indication that they wore leather arm protection. So if you need to wear leather arm protection, do what some of my mates do. Put it under your sleeve. Put your sleeve over it. If your sleeve of your tunic is too tight, I don't know what to tell you. Wear a couple more layers. Train better with your friends. If you are that scared of getting your hand or your forearm hit, then use a combat technique and rules that doesn't involve hitting people in the hands and forearms. You really, really can avoid these sorts of things if you have to. Moving on down, way on down. Boots. Everybody loves a good pair of boots. Boots give you ankle support. Boots are great. Did the Vikings wear boots that look kind of like this? Yes, we have finds of these. In fact, we have a find of this kind of boot. It was child size. It was teeny tiny, little child boot. Why has it got 3 sets of buckles or toggles on it? It's got 3 sets of toggles on it so that your little kid, little baby Ragnar, can't pull his shoe off easily and lose it. So if you're wearing this to make yourself look like a manly warrior, you're kind of making yourself look like somebody who is small. I like them. I still like them. And as far as we know, there's no real differentiation between adult and child shoe styles, but I just find it funny that people think that these were like a symbol of wealth and status when it's actually based on a child's boot. It's funny. Okay, so the final 2 things I'm going to talk about aren't actually clothing, they are elements of clothing. Pop rivets and metal eyelets. Pop rivets did not exist. They were invented in, I believe, the 20th century. Metal eyelets were not used. They are a modern invention. They are certainly not the kinds of eyelets that you make with one of those stampy tools. They are very modern things. If you are making yourself something that needs eyelets, poke a hole with an awl through the material, and then whip a circle of thread around the hole. Boom, baby, you've made an eyelet. if you have to use a metal eyelet, if you've got fabric for a tent that has metal eyelets in it already, just sew around the eyelet. My friend Alex did that and it looks amazing. So there you go, those are a few of the reenactorisms I wanted to address on this nice sunny day in Edinburgh. I'm going to go for a pint now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my new subscribers for joining. I'm, as I record this, just shy of 700 subscribers, which is insane to me, so thank you so much for joining in with the channel. Thank you for all your comments and suggestions. Don't miss Coco Vid this weekend. I will be on a panel. I'll be on the Gentleman's Club panel with some of my CosTube friends. I will also be putting 2 premieres up on the channel on, I think, Saturday and Sunday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you need to find the guide, it's on the CosTube Guide Instagram page. I'll pop a link down in the description. Those premieres are an opportunity for you guys to ask me questions live about the video as it comes out, and we're doing one on the male silhouette through the medieval period, and I'll be doing one about getting started in reenactment. So come along, bring questions, bring snacks, and bye for now. So much traffic noise here, I could have picked a quieter tree. Oh well, your daddy's not interested, your daddy's gone, your daddy's in Bermuda. Daddy's sucking rum out of half a coconut, my friend. Daddy doesn't give a crap, he's wearing his Panamas. He's wearing the biggest shorts he can find. You done?